Hey y'all. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I am so excited to talk about the latest update on Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex's Instagram. Now, before I even get into that, I was planning to hit the gym, and I'm still going to hit the gym after I record this video, but I didn't want to wait any longer because I wanted to talk about this right away. But I was actually headed to the gym. I was actually doing what I was supposed to do, and I just happened to open my phone and see her video, sat down and watched it, and I said, I got to go talk to the folks on my channel. I said, we got to reconvene as a family. Thank you so much, Meghan, for giving us a reason to start the day off on a high note. Now, I will get to the gym at some point. Yeah. But we got to talk about the latest update. So let's get into it. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the latest update from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and her latest announcement. I am so excited to talk about this. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. And if you are in the live chat watching this during the premiere, let me know your thoughts in the premiere or in the live chat. Are you excited for this? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me turn it over to Meghan so that she can tell you.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about. Last year, I had thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name. It's my neighborhood. It's a nickname for Santa Barbara. But it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge. So I thought about it, and I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I had secured in 2022, and this is the moment. And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been. And if you followed me since 2014 with the TIG, you know I've always loved cooking and crafting and gardening. This is what I do, and I haven't been able to share it with you in the same way for the past few years, but now I can. So as things are starting to trickle out there, I wanted you to hear it from me first. Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam. But there's so many more products that I just love that I use in my home, and now it's time to share it with you. So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
Meghan's caption reads, "Some of you may have heard whispers about what I've been creating. In 2 weeks, my series on Netflix launches, but there's something else I've been working on. I'm thrilled to introduce you to As Ever, a brand that I created and have poured my heart into. As Ever means as it's always been, or some even say in the same way as always. If you followed along since my days of creating the TIG, you'll know this couldn't be truer for me. This new chapter is an extension of what has always been my love language, beautifully weaving together everything I cherish: food, gardening, entertaining, thoughtful living, and finding joy in the everyday. I will keep sharing behind the scenes tidbits with you here as we ramp up to launch, and I can't wait for you to get your hands on everything we've been creating." I can't wait for that either, Meghan. Sending lots of love, As Ever, Meghan. That is so exciting. I'm ready. So this actually came along with a new website. But before I get into that, I actually want to read a People magazine article based on this announcement because they have more details than I have. So I'm going to switch over to that article. But while I do that, go ahead and be letting me know your thoughts so far. And have you been to the website yet? And yes, we are going to check out the website here in this video, of course. The title of this article is "Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex's new brand logo is full of hidden meanings. Here's what they really represent. The Duchess of Sussex incorporated hummingbirds and a palm tree into the crest for As Ever." And this was written by the ever amazing Janine Henney. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex's refreshed lifestyle brand has a logo with a meaningful symbol. On February 18th, the Duchess of Sussex announced that she was rebranding her lifestyle venture, previously known as American Riviera Orchard, to As Ever, and dropped a coordinating crest on its new website. The elegant graphic in a square shape shows a palm tree flanked by 2 hummingbirds and is featured prominently at the top of the As Ever page, which features a new picture of Meghan and her daughter, Princess Lilibet. The logo's palm tree is symbolic of Santa Barbara, where Meghan and Prince Harry call home with their kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Meanwhile, hummingbirds hold a special significance in the Duke of Sussex's memoir sphere. Absolutely. At the end of the book, published in January of 2023, Prince Harry reflected on a visit from a hummingbird to his Montecito home after the death of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, noting how the bird is interpreted as a symbol of spirits in some cultures. Quote, soon after our return, a hummingbird got into the house, Harry wrote in spare. I had a devil of a time guiding it out, and the thought occurred that maybe we should start shutting the doors despite those heavenly ocean breezes. Then a mate said, could be a sign, visitors as it were. Aztecs thought them reincarnated warriors. Spanish explorers called them resurrection birds. Harry wrote in spare that naturally, when the hummingbird emerged and flew around the kitchen, soaring over the sacred airspace we call Lilyland, where we've set the baby's playpen with all of her toys and stuffed animals, I thought hopefully, greedily, foolishly, is our house a detour or a destination? In a sweet scene in the docuseries Harry and Meghan, which premiered on Netflix in December of 2022, Prince Archie adorably questioned his dad about why he was interested in looking for hummingbirds at their home. Quote, we won't get a chance to be this close to hummingbirds ever again, Harry said in the second episode. Why? Archie wondered. Just watch, because they are scared of humans, Harry said with awe. These guys, look at them. Yeah, Archie was so concerned, but his foot was dirty, if y'all remember that.
Because they're scared of you. These guys,
I gotta do this foot, Mama, because I believe you.
Oh my God.
I gotta do this foot.
You've got a dirty foot. Papa is a bird watcher, so this is a really big moment.
But equally, what's most important for the two of us is to make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes that perhaps our parents made.
On February 18th, the Duchess of Sussex shared a new Instagram video to announce that she changed her lifestyle brand's name and explained its symbolic moniker. It's recording, Prince Harry said off screen as Meghan smiled and began chatting. So, of course, we have to take a look at the website itself, and thankfully, Janine Henney and People Magazine put a link right here in the article. Here we go, as ever. Here we are, as ever. And here is the logo. What a beautiful, beautiful scene. Oh my goodness. Yes, if they had to close their doors and not see this beautiful view or feel those amazing ocean breezes, because there is the ocean right there, that would be such a shame. This is beautiful. Now, I already went and subscribed earlier, but don't forget to put your email here and subscribe so that you can get updates. But I am so excited for this. Good for you, Meghan. I always enjoy seeing people operate in a space where they're passionate, and this is no different. It's very clear that Meghan is not only passionate about As Ever, but she's also very passionate about her show. And these are things that she was passionate about before they became her job now. I actually love that she was able to incorporate things that she truly loves, things that she finds solace in, into her work life. I think that's very cool. And that's just an example of working in alignment. And that's something that Meghan has always been pretty clear about. She likes to do things that are aligned with her passions, and she likes to operate from a heart-centered place. And look at how that's paying off. You cannot pay for the kind of joy that was written on that woman's face. I'm so happy for her. I hope more people have the opportunity to have, experience, and feel that kind of joy on the daily. And this is something that I've said before on TikTok. I've mentioned this on my other channel. I've talked about this, but in this life, you have to go out and claim your joy. Sometimes it won't find you. A lot of times it won't find you. And not to turn this into a sermon, but seeing Meghan not only speak about something she's excited about, but that joy that was literally emanating from her, that glow, that inner light, like she was radiant, she was glowing. That comes from being genuinely happy. That comes from being genuinely happy, whether that's happy with your life, happy with yourself, happy within. That is happiness. That is joy. And one of the reasons why I enjoy talking about Harry and Meghan is because, and you guys have heard this if you've been here for a while, is because there are so few pieces or examples of genuine light in this world, especially when it comes to public figures, that when you see it, when you find it, you protect it. And that's why a lot of my channel has been dedicated to talking about the great work that they do, but also to highlight what we should be seeing all the time. That should be the norm. That kind of joy, that kind of peace, that kind of passion should be the norm. Now, we all have to do what we have to do, and we all have a debt to pay to society for taking up space, which is philanthropy, which is giving back, which is contributing to the world around us and those in need. Under-resourced and underprivileged communities deserve our attention and our contribution. And those are things that bring a different type of joy. That actually does bring a different type of peace and joy when you know you have helped. And that's genuinely the reason you're helping. Not so that you can put a camera out there and show people like, look, y'all, I'm giving this homeless person $20. Not for that. But when you genuinely give from the heart, then you feel that. The gift of giving is not just knowing you help somebody, but the kind of peace and joy that comes with that. But then when you, on the other side, also get to operate in a space that you're passionate about when it comes to your hobbies, when it comes to your interests, and that can be part of your job, that can be part of how you feed yourself and your family. There are very, very few things that are that rewarding. And the kind of joy you see on Meghan's face, the kind of joy you saw on Harry's face when he was at Invictus, when he was sitting with Justin Trudeau and they were just all into it, the kind of happiness you see when he is hugging the participants and hanging out with the families and taking photos or playing with the kids, the kind of joy I saw on Harry's face at the blanketing ceremony, that is not joy you can pay for. That is the kind of joy you earn by giving to the world around you, by operating from a space of just wanting to do good, being resilient, and most of all, claiming your joy. Again, I don't want to turn this into a sermon, but I don't think we talk about that enough. As an adult myself, there's a lot that you have to go through. You're going to experience grief. You're going to have disappointment. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to come up short. You're going to have moments where you were so close, but you just didn't. You're going to have moments where you have to start completely over, which as an adult, that's one of the things that we don't talk about enough. How often you have to start from scratch. That is difficult, whether it be going back to school at 37 like myself, whether it's hanging out, whether it's recovering after a divorce, whether it's recovering after having to separate from your entire family because you realize they're narcissistic psychopaths who've been trying to harm you for their benefit forever. And it took having a light come into your life to shine a light on what was really going on in the dark. And you have to escape and turn around and get started from the ground up with zero help. Sometimes starting over is necessary as an adult. And the longer you go in the wrong direction, the harder it is to turn around and correct. In addition to all of that, all of those challenges that come with adulthood, I'm not even talking about the parents who have to do all of that while also creating and raising and protecting life that's also under their thumb and also under their responsibility. In addition to all of that, most of us, not everybody, but most of us are responsible for addressing and healing from trauma that we ourselves are not the blame of. We are not responsible for, that we cannot be blamed for, that we are not the root cause of. But the responsibility does fall on us to do the work to address and to heal from it so that it doesn't occupy the majority of the space in our minds and in our hearts. All of those things are challenges, very common challenges for most adults, not everybody, but most adults. And so you see why I highlight how important it is to go out and get your joy, find your joy, claim your joy, and then most of all, protect it. Because when you don't, someone will come and snatch it away. A great example of that, we have never, ever observed Meghan doing anything that caused harm to someone else. Ever. Meanwhile, the majority of the articles about her over the past 5, 6, 7 years have been negative and pure concoctions of someone's imagination. Someone's choice to use hyperbole to paint her as angry, to paint her as manipulative, to paint her as conniving, to paint her as a thief in the night because she stole a prince. Meanwhile, she moved away with her whole ass husband. But yes, she stole a prince. Like, get freaking real. If he could be stolen, do you know how many places he would be? Do you know how many women would have snatched him up by now? He cannot be stolen. He left with his wife because it was necessary to protect her, his child, and himself. But here's the thing. Despite never observing Meghan cause any harm to anyone, do anything to hurt anyone, people have still created an image of her and opted to treat her in a way that is not even in alignment with how she shows up in the world. They treat this woman like a thief in the night. They treat this woman like a freaking terrorist. They treat this woman like some sort of bully. Meanwhile, she's a whole victim of bullying. But one thing I love about Miss Meghan is that she's not going to hold on to victimhood. She's going to experience it. She's going to feel the interaction or feel the feelings that come along with negative experiences, and then she's going to let it go. So I actually don't even consider her a victim of bullying. I consider her a survivor of bullying, because you will not claim her. You will not claim her as one of your casualties, because baby, you cannot stop what someone has set forth for themselves. When someone is determined to live the life that they know they are deserving of, to live the life in alignment that they know they have worked for, to live the blessed life that they are entitled to, you cannot take that away. No human can take away joy that God gives you. And so when you're out here and people are trying to snatch up your joy, I want you to think about Miss Meghan. I want you to think about Meghan and the joy you saw on her face when she was talking about something that she is so excited and proud of. I want you to think about when Miss Meghan is talking about her children and raising her kids and sharing funny stories, or even talking about how scary it is that she knows her kids will one day enter the world of the internet and how scary the world is. And you see that passion on her face, how passionate she is, how passionate he is about putting things in place to protect all children. You see that passion, but you most of all see that joy, that endearing quality that connects them to not just their own inner circle, but to all of us, which is why we support them, why we amplify them, why we talk about them. You cannot pay for the type of joy we just saw Meghan show. Despite everything we know that she's been through, even up until today, there are rumors about them getting divorced. And I'm like, do y'all not mind looking stupid? Like, for me, I am risk averse in the worst ways. If I think something I'm going to say is wrong, I'll be sure to say, this is what we know so far. But when I have new information, I will update you. I don't like being wrong. I don't like being made a fool of. I don't intentionally say things that I know can be easily proven with a quick and easy Google search. You could have proved that wrong with a Nokia phone. But meanwhile, people are so determined to spread negativity. And like I said, to try and claim this woman's joy because they don't have any of their own. When they could be out claiming their own joy, they're out here trying to take hers. That's a hater for you. I don't care if I have to be in the grave with you. I will try to pull you down. If that ain't a crab in a barrel, but look at what's going on. She claimed her own joy. And the joy you saw in that video of her talking about something she's excited about, the joy you heard in her voice when she was talking to Archie about his little dirty foot, the joy you saw on Prince Harry's face at the blanketing ceremony, the joy you saw on Prince Harry's face when he was sitting with Justin Trudeau and watching the sports go on and watching the competitions and excited and laughing and high-fiving, the joy you see on their faces when they play with kids, the joy you see on their faces when they participate in panels to try and make this world a better place, when they give back, the joy you see on their faces when they are operating in alignment and based on what they are passionate about. That is what I mean when I say go out and find your joy, because the world will hide it from you and it will try to take it from you. How many people have we observed try and take their joy? And how many have been successful? None. And that's what I mean. That's why I enjoy talking about them. I enjoy amplifying the great work that they do, because it's not enough examples of it. We should see that type of joy and we should experience that type of joy on the regular. But the world we live in is not set up for us to be happy. It's set up for us to be workhorses, to help those who are too lazy to get up and do their own work. These billionaires, these people who've exploited others and they just want to be fed, their pockets be fed with greed. That's the kind of examples we have on the main stage. And that's why these two stick out the way they do. Two people who work for everything they have. They still give back. They still contribute to society, and they still claim their joy. If that's not an example of the direction most people should be headed in, then I don't know what is. But most importantly to me, the thing I take away from watching these two, from talking about these two, for us communing around the type of work that they do and their events and everything that's going on with them, their current events and stuff like that. The thing that I always take away is they cannot be claimed. They are two people who I have always admired how they claim their space on this earth, how they claim their joy, they seek their joy. Because could you imagine if they left it up to the world? If they left it up to the world, the people in this world, to cater to them, they would be depressed. They would never get the validation they seek. And that's because people have tried to take their joy. People have used them as punching bags, but they've never let that be their story. They've shared their story. They've shared parts of their story, But ultimately, they have claimed the life they live and they have fought like hell for it. And boy, do they deserve it. But not just them. If you're watching this, I'm talking to you too. You deserve it too. Take a look at your life, how you wake up in the morning, what you do all day, what you do right before bed, what do you do on the weekends, what brings you joy, and how can you incorporate more of that into your day-to-day? How can you find ways to shine your light on the world more? Because the world needs it. You are necessary. You are not here by accident. If you have ever done a quick Google search of all the things that could go wrong during a pregnancy, how hard it is to actually conceive, you would know that every single soul on this earth is a miracle. The fact that you are here is not by accident. And the fact that you are here says that you are entitled to the joy that you are owed. And I hope that you get to experience that joy. I hope that no matter what happens to you, you know that you are the author of your story. No matter how many surprise characters want to pop out and throw a surprise or a curveball at you, at the end of the day, you own your story. No one else can claim you but you. You are owed joy in this world. You are owed living in alignment. You are owed the peace that you should have on this earth. And when the world tries to take it away from you, I really hope you see this video. You hear my words when I say, go fight for it and then protect it. Because I myself have been a person who has had my joy ripped away from me. And I said, well, wait a minute. Why am I putting it up for grabs? If you are in my life and you're causing harm, then sweetheart, you got to go. If you are someone who does not wish me well, then sweetheart, you don't have access to me. And if I myself am bringing harm to myself with bad habits, not believing in myself, leaving it up to others to validate me, not admire or not acknowledging my own self-worth or not growing in my self-worth, losing my self-esteem or not having high self-esteem, those are ways I'm bringing harm to myself. You're in control. Check that. Go to therapy, go to your doctor's appointments, do right by you before you do right by anybody else. If you know you're supposed to be at the gym, now listen, a hit dog about to holler, y'all, so just watch. If you know you're supposed to be at the gym, why are you on YouTube talking? Who's guilty of that? Not me, not me. If you know you're trying to lose weight or have a healthy body or prevent illness, why are you grabbing a bowl of cereal? Why are you getting Frosted Flakes and putting white sugar on top when you should be getting an apple or a boiled egg? Why are you ordering a pizza when you know you're supposed to be eating some fish or some chicken or something light? Why are you eating carbs when you're trying to lose weight? All of the, when you know you're supposed to be doing right by you, honor yourself, keep those promises, and do right by you first. You can't pour from an empty cup. So the joy that you seek in this world is your responsibility to find and protect. And if anybody tries to get you to prioritize their happiness, their peace over your own, that's not somebody who should be as close to you as they are. I hope you know that because you're on this earth, you deserve happiness, and they are no different. And every time we talk about them, that's something that keeps coming up of like, wow, despite everything they've been through, despite everything they've been through, they still have it in themselves to be joyful. There are 1,000,001 articles right now claiming that these two are getting a divorce. See, like I said, I'm risk averse. I do not like being wrong. There is no way in hell I'm going to say something that I know can be easily disproven, because that would make me look bad. Now think about if a person doesn't even care enough about themselves to not want to look bad or be embarrassed by doing their job so poorly that it can be debunked by non-professionals in their industry. Think about if you care so little about yourself, why would I validate anything they have to say about anybody else? If you sitting here editing your face on a wedding photo so that you can pretend that you with somebody else, you editing your face on that, you don't care about looking foolish. So why would I care about what that person has to say about this queen? Why would I care? If you don't care enough about yourself to brush your teeth, to get some Invisalign or some braces, to cut off that wisp of nappy ass white hair right in the center, why would I care about your articles about Meghan and how she makes you grind your teeth? Sweetheart, your teeth look ground to the bone as it is. Your teeth look gross. Maybe you should grind them pieces of shit out and go get some dentures because your teeth don't look so healthy. I think you'd be better off grinding them out of your mouth. I think your gums would be relieved at no longer having those black teeth sticking out of them. I would say instead of talking about how Meghan makes you grind them, maybe you should say that to a dentist, honey. Clearly, you've been missing those appointments. Not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying. If a person cares so little about themselves that they're willing to walk around with black teeth, Why would I care what they have to say through those black teeth about either of these two? Baby, your teeth are black. I'm surprised you can even still talk. Do you need to gargle? Looking like they brush their teeth with tar, but that would be ridiculous because they clearly don't brush their teeth at all. Not talking about anybody. I'm just saying all of that to say this. People in this world are miserable. There are people in this world who don't even love themselves enough to get up and do right by themselves. So it's no surprise that when they see people who are happy, the first order of business is to take aim at it. Do not let those people validate you. Don't let them people invalidate you either. They don't exist. Be like Harry and Meghan. Put the blinders on. I operate for the people who are in alignment with me. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. Those that get it, get it. For those that don't, they don't. And I'm not going to waste my time, my energy, my time on this earth, my limited time on this earth, the limited breaths I have, explaining it to people committed to misunderstanding me. Claim your joy. When you see that somebody don't mean right by you, goodbye. You don't have to prove a thing to them. What matters most is your joy and your peace. And when I was watching Meghan in that Instagram video, the thing that came to me immediately was, ooh, I know they hot and bothered that this woman is so happy. I know that's right, Meghan. Keep shining. That's what I actually told somebody that on TikTok the other day, because she was talking about how her boss, his wife, is always insulting her, and she's always trying to put her in her place. Now, his wife don't work with them, and she's always trying to put her in her place. She'll always say things like, "You look like a little girl. You don't even look older than my oldest child," or "Hey, sweetheart. Hey, sweetie," or "Hey, pumpkin." Like, she's always extremely condescending to her. And she was like, "I don't even interact with my boss that much, and when I do, it's very professional." She's just clearly insecure, and she's trying to prove a point. And as she's telling the story, I told her, sometimes our light can shine a light on the inadequacies of others. It can make people feel very threatened. When you don't have a light of your own, instead of acquiring one, i.e. your peace and joy, those people try to dim yours. If I can't shine, why should you? And that's all the more reason to keep shining, because no amount of darkness in the world can put out a flame. And of course, you don't have to listen to me. I'm a wackadoo on the internet. Most of y'all haven't even met me in real life. You don't even know if I'm anything below the shoulders. I could be anything. Y'all don't know me personally. So please don't feel like you have to listen to me. But if you don't listen to anything else I said, I hope you hear me when I say you are not here by accident. You are entitled to a happy life. And boy, are you worth it to go fight for that. You are worth fighting for peace and fighting for joy, because you are entitled to it. Something that Beyonce said on one of my favorite Beyonce songs, Bigger, one of the things that she said is, life is your birthright. They hid that in the fine print. Take the pen and rewrite it. My goodness, that whole song is manifestation, affirmation. That is a song that will pull you out of whatever rut you're in, and it'll make you cry. So be careful. I can't listen to that song and be around my niece, because it's a song, basically she was singing it about her children, about Blue Ivy, about legacy. And so y'all know my niece is like my whole heart outside of my body. Y'all know I love her and my nephew. They're just like the reason I'm here. Mostly, like, I feel like I was created just to be their aunt, and it's so worth it. But whenever I'm around them, if that song comes on, I know they can't stand me, because this would be me watching them listen to some, "You're just so wonderful." And I know my niece be like, "Amy, please, I've been here 17 years, ma'am. You're gonna have to get used to it at some point." And I'm just like, "You don't understand. You are a blessing." But genuinely, I feel that way, and I'm very expressive, because one day I won't be here, and hopefully those moments will hit differently for her, where she'll be like, "Dang, my auntie really did like me." But no, Bigger is one of those songs that make you cry. So be careful. Like, hey, for the moms and the dads out there, be careful, because I know as an aunt, if it's shaking me up like that, I know y'all be down bad. But no, in that song, amongst the many amazing things she says is, life is your birthright. They hid that in the fine print. Take the pen and rewrite it. And I cannot tell you how that one has several meanings, but most of all, it is up to you to write your own story. I don't care what they throw at you. I don't care if you were a spare. I don't care if you were born in order to back up someone else in case they can't fulfill their duties. You're an extra. I don't care if you were born, according to them, to offer spare organs in case the number one doesn't have an organ or needs a transplant. You were literally farmed. I don't care if that was why you were brought here. You are here. And it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you to claim the peace and the joy that you are entitled to. And I don't care what they say. And for those of you who are conflict averse, if someone is telling you you are not entitled to peace and joy, now this is not for MAGA people. This doesn't apply to y'all. Y'all don't belong here. And I don't want no joy for anybody who voted for that dump of a person in the White House. Let's make that clear. This ain't for them. If you here, go and see yourself out because you are not my audience. I don't want to hear what you got to say. But for everybody else, this message is for you. And if you are conflict averse and the world is trying to take your peace and joy and you don't want to confront it, tell them to email me at hellosharon@gmail.com. I'll do it. I'll say, you know what? Amanda is entitled to peace. Leave her alone. Like, you let me know. I'll help you out because everybody is entitled to peace and joy. And when I see two people who have been through hell and back, and then I see what I saw of Harry at the blanketing ceremony, when I see what I saw of Meghan in that video, when I see what I saw of them giving each other a kiss in the crowd, when I see what I saw of them hugging kids, when I see what I saw all the time of them bringing joy, but feeling joy, experiencing joy, that's just a sign, that's just a reminder that no one else can write your story but you. So I don't care why you were brought here. I don't care if you were brought here to be a spare. I don't care if you were brought here for someone's ego. I don't care why. I don't care if you were an accident. One thing is for sure. You might be an accident, but you damn sure weren't no mistake. Even though people will say that, you were not a mistake. You might have been an accident. Surprise. That just means you like to command the room. That just means nobody can see you coming. You move on your own dime. Just like myself, someone who was also a little, not a mistake. I was a little accident. I was a little surprised. So from me to you, you were not a mistake. No matter your circumstances of entering this world, you are here. And I hope that you know you deserve to take up space. And I hope you know that you deserve to take up that space with a joyful spirit. Because look at Miss Meghan. Good for her. Now, I'm gonna talk y'all's ear off. I'm sorry. Y'all did not come here for a sermon, but honestly, that was just a word on my heart. I don't know who needed to hear that. I don't know if I just needed to hear it, but I wanted to share that. If I don't share anything, I want you to hear things that make you feel good, and I don't speak nothing but truth. So, you know, I'm not lying to you when I say you are owed peace and joy. Everybody except MAGA. But anyway, I am so excited for As Ever. And I love that Meghan said jam is my jam. She's so funny. Like, I love that she's just so laid back. Because do you know how easy it would be to be like extremely reserved and reticent to speak? I can't speak for her, but I'll say this. If it were me, if I've been through what Meghan has been through, I wouldn't say anything to anybody in public. Y'all wouldn't hear my voice anymore. I would be straight up Amber Rose the first couple of years she was famous. That woman didn't say a word. That would be me. I wouldn't give anybody the opportunity to take my words and flip it. But that's because Miss Ma'am has healed. She has left the haters to do what the haters are going to do. They don't reach her frequency. So she is able to live her life the way she wants to and doesn't give a damn about them. And so I love seeing that. And that's just a sign to me to stop letting other people control me in any way. But seeing her openly expressive, trying new things, like that's already, like we could just talk about this all day. That's already a risk. Trying something new, launching something new, whether it be a show, whether it be a product, whether it be a product line, those are risks. Those are not, it's a risk because it may or may not be successful. Now she knows the squad has her back, so it's going to be successful, but still, that's still being extremely vulnerable to launch anything because you don't know how it's going to be taken. You don't know how it's going to be perceived. And that's just for normal people. I can't imagine someone who fully knows that there are parts of the world that only wish her harm and still having the vulnerability and the bravery to still go out and simply try. Be a first timer at something. Be a novice at something. Be vulnerable to share your life with people. Be vulnerable enough to share your joys with people. That's somebody who's divinely protected. So she knows she's good. But just thinking of what she's probably had to overcome to be this vulnerable in the public space after what she's been through, after what they've been through, after what their kids have been through, I can only tip my hat to them, or I should say tip my bun to them, because it takes a lot and they deserve it. And I'm so glad that they don't let those haters get in their mind. And I hope you see that as a sign to not let people who wish you harm have any space in your mind. Let them keep that misery to themselves. Let them boil in their blood about how joyful you are. The way I know people on that island are pissed, but you know they still rewatching it. You know they just got it playing on a loop. I can't stand her. She gets on my nerves. Let me turn it up so I can hear her better. You know they are obsessed with Miss Ma'am. Anyway, I have talked y'all's ear off enough. I hope you're having an amazing week, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm excited to read you guys' comments. If you're in the live chat, thank you so much for participating and watching during the live premiere. But especially thank everybody for watching my videos, contributing, watching the channel, helping me grow. I really appreciate everybody who's here. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's free. I had somebody say, Sharion, I'm not going to give you any money, so I'm not subscribing. And I was like, baby, this is Keke Palmer. That's an internet joke. Baby, this is free. You don't have to pay to subscribe. Like, I don't even know where that came from, but sometimes I don't know when people got on YouTube. They might not know. So I like to remind people now, after I got that little email, subscribing is free. Commenting is free. Sharing is free. Like, liking is free. Whatever you want to do, or you don't have to do anything. You can just watch the content. I don't care. I hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see y'all next time.